So now we will be discussing a method that can be used to identify the source of the TOR traffic. We will be trying to de-anonymize the source that has generated the TOR traffic. Now for this purpose, we will be studying the approach that is known as traffic analysis against TOR network using NetFlow. Now, first we need to understand what NetFlow actually is. NetFlow is a network protocol which has been created by Cisco, and it collects the IP network traffic as it flows in or out of an interface. This protocol is used to to analyze the traffic and determine its point of origin, destination, the volume of the traffic, and the paths on the network. Getting We can get some useful information from this data which can be used to monitor the traffic patterns, and on the basis of these traffic patterns we can predict the possible source from which the traffic has originated. Now this method is based on the supposition that traffic analysis is being done on both the sides. It will be done on the exit node as well as the entry node, and the NetFlow data will be used to monitor the traffic patterns at both ends. In order to follow this method, there are some suppositions that we make and that need to be followed so that this method can give us some accurate results. The first supposition is that the attacker will have access to a significantly large number of entry nodes. It means that the attacker will be accessing a large network area, and it will have access to large entry nodes. This will enable the attacker in predicting the entry node with much more success as compared to if the attacker only has some limited area. Now the attacker will have more area, and obviously the the entry node will be one of the entry nodes, most probably one of the entry nodes that is communicating with the server. The second supposition is that the server accessed by the client will be working in collaboration with the attacker. Now what this means is that the attacker will have control of the server, and the attacker will thus know the exit node from which the victim traffic has been originated and received by the server. So yeah, the third point is what I have already discussed. Now the final supposition is that the adversary can identify the entry node of this victim circuit by using throughput fingerprinting. Now fingerprinting is a technique by which which is used to identify and predict about it is used in cybersecurity. Now what will happen is that the throughput, which is the amount of data that passes through a particular node, will be observed of the entry nodes as well as the exit node, and the throughput of the two nodes that will be the most similar, the one node, it will be identified as the entry node, and the other that we already know is the exit node. Now the actual challenge for the adversary is to determine the real identity of the anonymous client that corresponds to a connection seen at the server using only the NetFlow data from the vantage points. These points will be the exit node towards the server. This is the information that that our attacker will have, and the second information will be the information about the various clients that are connected to the various entry nodes. Now, after determining the identity of the entry node involved in the victim anonymous connection, the adversary only needs to find the particular client connected to the entry node that has made the request, and it can be done based on the correlation coefficient. Now, we'll discuss the method and working of it. As you can clearly see in the diagram that this is the entry node and there are three victim nodes. Okay, so this is the entry node and there are three nodes that are connected to the entry node. This is the middle relay and this one is the exit relay, and this is the server which has collaborated with the attacker. Now what will happen is that when a client will be accessing any website, he will be tempted or lured to access the server which is being collaborated by the attacker. There can be some possible ad which can seem interesting and the client might click it. On clicking, what will happen is that a file will start downloading. Now the purpose of the downloading of file is that on average the connection between the server and the client is not for so long, and we cannot predict the traffic patterns during that short period of time cannot be used to predict the actual source. So during the downloading of the file, there will be some time taken for the download, and in this time considerably large traffic pattern will be generated that can be compared, and we can find the possible source. So as the download of the file will continue, the server will keep on injecting a repeated traffic pattern in the TCP connection, which is between the server and the exit node. After some time, when the download will be completed, this traffic flow will be halted, and then the attacker will obtain the NetFlow data flow records, which will have the traffic statistics corresponding to the server and the exit traffic, and for the traffic statistics between the entry node and the different clients. And we have already discussed that the entry node we will get to know about the entry node based on throughput fingerprinting. Now, after getting this information, it is possible that the traffic flow statistics between the entry node and the client are not properly aligned with those of the traffic statistics between the exit and the server. So in order to compute correlation statistics between these two, we need to align them properly. It is possible that they are not equally spaced, they are not equally long, so approximations are made, and these so that these statistics can be compared with one another. Now, after the alignment has been done, the adversary or the attacker will calculate the correlation coefficient of the traffic statistics between the exit node and the server, as well as the entry node and each of its clients. Now, on the basis of this correlation coefficient, it will check the correlation coefficient that of the client to the entry node that most closely relates to the coefficient correlation coefficient of the exit to the server. Now, the correlation statistics that are most similar will be identified as the victim client. Now, in this case, this client's statistics, that as you can see the traffic pattern, will be the most similar to the traffic pattern generated at this end, as you can clearly see. So, the attacker will identify this client as the source of the traffic that has been received at the server end. Now, this was all for this method, and I hope it would be clear to you all.